Hi everyone, That Cat Mommy here, and today I'm going to be talking with you about some things that you can say to somebody who is grieving the loss of a pet that are hopefully going to make them feel better, or at least not make the situation worse. Like, there are definitely some things that you should 100% avoid saying because you might think they're appropriate, but they really don't come off the right way. So I decided after we lost our beloved little feet, we actually had some people reach out and say some very sweet, very wonderful things to me, and they did make me feel better. So I wanted to share some of those as well as some other ideas that I actually had people through Instagram reach out to me when they found out I was doing this video and say, share stories with me and say, oh, somebody said this to me or somebody did this, and it really did make me feel better. And I just kind of wanted to share this with you guys so that you would know how to comfort a friend that might have lost a pet recently. So every single person is different. What works for one person isn't necessarily going to work for another. It also depends on your relationship with the person. Like, did you know them really well? Was it a close friend? Is it an acquaintance? Is it somebody you don't know very well? If it does happen to be somebody that you don't know very well at all, the best and most safe thing for you to say where you will not offend them is, I am so sorry for your loss, or my condolences. Those are two perfectly safe things that you can say to anybody and avoid putting your foot in your mouth. Now, the next thing that I really liked that people said to me is they were like, you gave your cat such a great life. You were such a great cat mom. The cat knew that it was loved. It knew that it was appreciated. It was very well taken care of. And that was important to me. Some of you guys know Feet had cancer, and we spent an insane amount of money to do absolutely everything that was available to try to prolong his life without him being in pain. And near the end, when we were basically told that the cancer treatment wasn't working anymore and we were out of options, he was in some pain for a couple days until we could get the vet here to have him put down. He was the first cat that I ever had to put down. Every other cat that I've ever had died naturally. So there was a significant amount of guilt with, could I have done more? Should I have done more? Should I have researched homeopathic things that I could have done? I did some of that, but should I have done more of that? And when you have to have an animal put down, even if it is in pain, even if it isn't living its best life, there is still a significant amount of guilt with that comes with that. So saying something and reminding people of what a great life you gave them and how much they knew that you were that they were loved was an amazing comfort to me. And I got so many of those messages that it made me feel like at least I gave him the best life that I could. Sorry, I probably should beep that. I'm going to try to get through this video without crying, but it is still very emotional for me. Because I do love him. And I do miss him every single day. So let me get my crap together. Okay, I'm back. So the next thing that is appropriate to say, and this will go for a lot of people, it will make sense to say this. And I do think this is perfectly acceptable to say to anybody, and that is just to acknowledge it's awkward for you. And you can say, I'm so sorry, I don't know what to say. Because a lot of times you don't know what to say, especially if it's not somebody you're close to, if you've never had a pet, if you've never been close to a pet. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what to say. I would much rather hear that, like, I'm sorry and I don't know what to say, than something that is going to offend me. So that is a solid one that you can go with if you honestly don't know what to say. Another one is, I can't imagine how you feel. Now, this is so much better than I know how you feel and then insert your story of the fact that you lost a pet. While you are trying to relate with somebody on that level and try to be like, oh, I know how you feel, and I'm so sorry when I lost my blah, 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 it was distorted. They don't care. Like, they don't care. They are going through this insane wall and wave of grief themselves. And like, they can't listen to your story of grief. Like, it's just not the right time. It's crazy bad timing. Plus, every single person is different. Like, you don't know how they feel. Like, you honestly don't know how they feel. And listen, if you've said this to somebody or you did that to somebody, I would have to say I have been guilty of doing that as well. So don't feel bad. Just don't do it anymore. Because when I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, that really is awful, because you kind of turn it into a grief competition when you do that. Like, oh, I was so sad when, my animal died, and and you're like, but I'm grieving now. I can't even think about you and your animal and what you went through, because it's just literally one of the worst heartbreaks, or at least for me. And it is for a lot of pet parents, because sometimes pets are closer to us than people. Like, my cats love me when I look like crap, when I'm being a total B word, when I, am not at my best. Okay. They love me all the time, and humans aren't like that. Humans can reject you, humans can judge you, and animals just don't do that. So the bond that you have is completely different. And when they're gone, it is totally heartbreaking and devastating. So the next one is, your feelings are normal. When Fee died, I was okay. I mean, I was sad, I cried, but I was holding it together for about 4 hours. And after that, I just broke down. Like, I felt like my heart was being ripped out of my chest, and I didn't feel normal. I felt so sad and so devastated, and I didn't know what to do with those emotions, and I didn't feel normal for me. Like, I knew this was going to be an emotional video. But anyways, letting somebody know their feelings are okay. It's okay that they're sad. It's okay that they don't feel normal. That is very empowering, because in that moment, logic and reason didn't work for me. It was just, to me, the best way I can describe it is, it felt like I was hitting waves of pain. And I said, it felt like I was in a wave pool at our local amusement park. And if you've ever been in a wave pool, like, the waves stop. They have to, like, get amped up to start again. And I said I felt like that. Like, I would be okay for like 5 minutes, and then I would totally break down, and I would just bawl my eyes out. And then I would be okay. And then I would something else. And it just felt like I was in the wave pool and I couldn't control the waves. I was just being hit by these massive waves of pain. And I remember thinking, am I going to feel this way forever? Is this ever going to go away? How am I going to function in everyday life if this is how I feel now? And man, it's been like 3 weeks. I thought I could really get through this video, but I'm probably going to cry through the whole thing. So I'm sorry, but we're just going to go with it, because my feelings are normal and this is a human moment. So there you go. Oh, okay. Moving on. Next thing that people said to me was, you can take all the time you need. Letting people know it's okay to grieve on their own timeline, because some people may be okay in, a couple of days. Some people might need weeks. Some people might need months. Some people might need years. So telling somebody to take all the time they need and giving them permission to grieve is very empowering when they feel like life is out of control and they've lost their power and they don't have any other, they don't know what's going to happen and how long they're going to be sad. Letting them know that it's okay and that they can do that in their own time is something great that you can say to somebody who is grieving. So people that are fixers, includes me. I'm a fixer. I like to fix things. If somebody's sad, I want to make it better. So saying to somebody, I I wish I could fix this for you. I'm so sorry for their pain. I wish I could fix it for you. Is empowering because it acknowledges that you wish that you could do what you want to do, which is fix something. But the fact that you acknowledge you can't, because again, it's everybody's individual journey and you can't fix it for them. So I am so sorry you're in pain. I wish I could fix it for you. A great thing to say to somebody for all the fixers out there. Another one is I am here for you whenever you need to talk. Like I said, I wasn't ready to talk to anybody. I wasn't ready to talk about any of it for a significant period of time. I didn't want to talk about it. I couldn't form the words to say. So letting people know when they are ready that they can talk to you about it is amazing. Some people are never ever going to want to talk about it. They don't. That's just not their bag. But you are going to have other people that do want to talk about it. And if you are close to them and you can be there to just listen to them, that's another thing. You don't really have to say a lot. But letting them know their feelings are valid when they're talking is appropriate. But other than that, keeping your mouth shut is a great thing to do, because some people like me just need to get it out. We just need to get it out. You can shake your head and, lend a shoulder to cry on, give a hug, again, and saying some of these things, but never trying to fix it, never trying to allowing them to say what they need to say, letting them know that that's normal, letting them work through it in their own time, in their own way is huge. It is super key here. Now, there are some things, if this is your best friend, this is your relative, this is somebody that you are close to, there are some things that you can do to go the extra mile. And I'm going to give you guys 5 ideas if you're like, oh, I don't want to just say something, but I feel like I need to do something as an addition. So one of the things you can do is take somebody a meal, because the very last thing that I wanted to do pretty much the whole week after I lost feet was cook food. Like, I just didn't want to cook. I didn't want to be in the kitchen. I barely had an appetite that I wanted to eat, but I definitely didn't want to cook. Like, no, I just was like barely functioning for a couple days. So taking somebody a meal, just like you would if like a human died, is a perfectly acceptable, wonderful thing that you can do. Another thing is to send a sympathy card. Very easy. There's tons of them everywhere, especially for loss of a pet. There's a beautiful poem called The Rainbow Bridge. You can look it up online. A lot of pet sympathy cards are surrounded by that, and I really valued and loved all the sympathy cards that I got. I also have a friend who sent pictures and made them into a card and sent pictures of my cat, which was absolutely amazing. You can also make a donation to a animal charity. Like if they had a favorite animal charity, or if you know of a local animal charity, you can donate to that charity in the pet's name. That's another huge thing that people do. An easy and free thing that people do is put up pet memorials on your social media networks. We actually had people on Instagram, on Facebook, put up these pictures of my cat and talk about how much they loved and were feeling sympathy that the cat was gone, and sharing special memories and moments that they had with them. Some of you guys know I have an Instagram channel, and Feet was well loved on that platform. And some people even made little memorial tribute picture things that were like graphic design, where looked like he had little angel wings and stuff, and it was like a cartoony looking thing. Other people just used his pictures that were on social media and shared that. If it's a friend, you could totally do a picture of your friend and their pet and put it on social media and be like, you gave him such a great life. If you have a memory with that pet, like if the pet did something funny or fun, or you just remembered how much it loved something, it's great to share those things too, because it reminds you that your pet was loved. And who doesn't want to know that people loved the same person that you did, and that they are sad that they're gone too? And just, Jesus, I cannot get through this video. Okay. And so the last thing that you can do to go the extra mile is give a memorial gift. Now, I actually did this for my best friend when her dog died. She'd had that dog for forever. I knew how much she loved that dog. The whole family loved that dog. I knew how devastated the whole family was. And they were going to bury the dog in the yard. They weren't going to have it cremated. And so I sent a memorial headstone for the dog. But I also thought that if they weren't going to bury the dog, if they were going to do like ashes or something, like they could put it out in a garden with some flowers and, you know, whatever. But I went on Amazon and I will link below this video to my list of favorite like gift memorial items that you can have shipped to somebody's house because she doesn't live right next door to me, and I was like, I want this to be there like the next day. So like I said, I'll link in the video description to some gifts that you can give to people for their pets. So anyways, I sent her a memorial stone, and she actually showed up at my house on the day that we had to put feet down, and which I wasn't totally expecting. She's probably the only other person besides my girlfriend in the world that it would have been okay to see. And she brought me this beautiful necklace that she had put my cat's picture in. I sent her a text message at Valentine's Day. It was a picture of my cat, and it was like, has a little sign that said BFF, and it was like, Happy Valentine's Day. And it was like pink, and it was cute. And I had actually texted that to her on Valentine's Day just to tell her, you know, thanks for being a great friend or whatever. And she was like, oh my God, such a cute picture of your cat. And I was like, I know, it's fine. So she had actually taken that picture from a text message that I had sent her, printed it out on her printer, her at home printer, and that's where my printer is. That's why I'm pointing. Like, you guys know that that's my printer over there. But she had actually taken that picture, and she had made this little crafted necklace thing that she brought to me with a sympathy card and a candle. And I was like, this is the most beautiful, wonderful thing, and I was very appreciative of that. So this might have been one of the hardest videos I've ever had to get through, but I wanted to give it to you guys because the things that people did do for me meant so much and made me feel so much better, that I hope that it will make you feel the same way. I hope you will be able to do that for somebody else, and it will save you from, you know, making a blunder that you might not need to make. Now, I'm also going to link to a video in the description box of this video that will tell you things that you should not say. Because there are 13 things that you should never say. And some of them are like, duh, I would never say that. And then some of them are like, oh, I might have said that before, and I didn't realize that that was actually offensive. So while you do want to say good things, there are definitely things that you should avoid. So check out the description box of this video for all of that wonderful goodness. If you guys liked this video and didn't hate the fact that I cried, which was bad, because I try not to cry during videos because I don't sound right and it's just crazy. But if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I made it to the end. And if you want more content from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until I see you guys over on the next video, remember to keep living your most perfect life.